I'm Beth the Builder, and my very first video I ever published to YouTube was carpeting 3 steps. I had to count. That was my first video, was a carpeting video. And these are my basement stairs, and they're gross. Something that people in my house really like to do was put carpet down and then like slap some paint against it, which is cool. I have some more carpet remnant. So my town does a spring cleanup where they put all kinds of great shit outside for spring cleanup. Stuff that's like brand new. Furniture that's like nothing wrong with it. I saw this carpet remnant and I couldn't believe it. I was walking my dog and I was like, this looks exactly like the stuff I have that I scavenged a few years ago. And I'll have to compare a chunk of it. It is so close. It's so similar. Maybe there's some kind of deal on this color of carpet. I was gonna carpet this landing as well, but I ended up putting wood there because I didn't have enough carpet to do it. I would have just carpeted it. That's hard to say. I've gotten essentially a big old giant chunk again. It doesn't smell, it doesn't look gross. It's pretty much in like perfect condition, especially for some basement stairs. It's old carpet, it's been painted, it's super stained. It's just gross. And if you can redo it for $0, why not? Okay, but anyway, that's what we're doing today. Okay, so you can see these stairs don't have backs to them, and I would say this is probably gonna be the easiest carpeting job that you could find. You don't have to deal with like pushing in the carpet. Every one of them seems to be pretty much the same. I'll have to deal with a little bit of trim along here. Okay, so I'm gonna use my nail gun. That'll pretty much be my only piece of equipment. You can get those tack strips, or whatever they're called. They're the wooden strips with nails in them, which are used on like the perimeters of a room or for pulling in carpet really close on stairs. I'm not gonna use those because each one of these stairs just needs to be wrapped in carpet. So it's pretty simple. You could totally make fun of me for scavenging carpet because maybe that's like a gross thing to do or whatever, but I promise I don't pick things up that are disgusting. And I'd gotten this like on the first day before it had rained or anything like that, so it wasn't like musty or wet or anything. So, I mean, feel free to make fun of me, but like sometimes when you have an old house and you're not made of money, you have to like be creative and come up with some frugal ways to fix things. And I wasn't thinking about recarpeting these, but then I was like, oh my god, that was my first video ever! I'm gonna do it again! And probably do it better? I don't know. Something. Oh god, there's a wasp in here! Ah! What the f- Hey, go outside, wasp. There you go. Okay, I got rid of my wasp. So pretty much all you need is something to cut your carpet. So I have a couple different things. This one has a rolly wheel on it, or you can just use a utility knife. And then you just need something to install it. And obviously if you're doing a big room or a bunch of stairs or whatever, you would want to like stretch it, which gets into needing other tools. But for this, where you're just wrapping each step, you just need something to cut your carpet. And you need something to secure your carpet. So this is just a corded staple and nail gun, and these are just basic utility blades. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of all this old carpet. I'm just gonna cut it away. I suppose you want to be careful of cutting anything underneath it, but I'm not really worried about it because these steps are kind of crappy. But I will be careful, at least for the first one, just to see, because maybe there's something awesome underneath. I doubt it. Anyway. So I pulled up a shitload of nails and I have an opinion about it. So I'm all for like using what you got and stuff, and maybe you don't have like a staple gun or a nail gun or whatever, but for laying carpet, I don't really think you need to have a good inch of nail to secure carpet because it's just carpet. So like with my carpet I used some carpet tacks, which have a wide head, which I did find maybe a few in here, but mostly I pulled up these, which are just like basic inch nails. So, and I'm not sure it really needs these, and there's like a shitload of them. There's no need to go overboard, okay? Lay your own carpet, but just maybe use some restraint with nails. Okay, so I've cleaned my stairs, vacuumed them off, swept them, and I've painted the skirt board, which are essentially the sides between your treads. So I've painted that because they were a hot mess and people had tried to paint them once there's carpet in place. So if you can paint before you install flooring or carpet, that's the way to do it. It's 10 times easier and it just makes sense. So I've painted that skirt board, and there's one riser right at the top, which I painted that. So it's all got a fresh coat of paint. And while that's drying, I'm going to cut all my pieces of carpet. I've folded it in half because it's a pretty good chunk and it doesn't really fit in this room unfolded. So I'm going to use the old carpet as templates. So they should pretty much all be the same for the most part, but there are a few that have little notches and edges, and they fit pretty tightly on the stairs. So I'm just going to use them as a template for my new carpet. Work smarter, not harder. Obviously you wouldn't do this for like a big honking room or something, but for all these little pieces, it makes sense to me. And they all fit pretty snugly. Like there weren't really any gaps on them, so I mean, it should be pretty much 1-to-1. So then after my paint is dry, we'll install the carpet.
I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. Change my fate, you won't understand it. All alone, that's okay. People, I can't stand them. They don't want me to change, keep me where I'm standing. And I don't wanna be where I am. And I want something more, take a chance. It could be possibly my last dance, my last dance. And I don't wanna let myself down, myself down.
Alrighty, so look at this. We're all done. I'm pretty pleased with it. So the only place I had problems with using my staple gun is this bottom rung, because there isn't enough space for me to put my staple gun perpendicular up against the bottom of the rung. So I used some tack nails and just my hammer, which was a little annoying, but it's not a big deal. The rest of them I could just use my staple gun. So make sure if you're using a template, like an old carpet piece that has the right shape to it, or you've measured a template or whatever, that because you'd cut your carpet when it's upside down, you want to make sure it's mirrored, you know, so that your template is like you flipping it, so that you're cutting it correctly, so that when you flip your carpet right side up, it fits correctly in place. So I didn't do that, so that was my mistake, but it wasn't a big deal because honestly I cut them all a little bit big and I only had to recut one. Some of them didn't even have like a notch in them, like a little groove where this trim piece is. So it wasn't a big deal. I made it work, even though it was kind of a silly mistake. Once I did it and I was like starting to put them in place, I was like, wait, yep, I do remember this from when I did my carpet around the corner. So it wasn't a big deal because, yeah, I cut some of them big so I could kind of like flip them around and like hide that underneath, and then cut a new notch, and I only had to recut one. So I have just a funny piece, but I had so much excess and I don't have a plan for it, so it's not a big deal. But make sure you do that. Don't cut all of them and then, you know, potentially have a huge amount of waste. And especially when you get carpet for free, it's really not a big deal. I hope any of my videos are helpful to people. I really don't think laying carpet's that difficult, especially with a couple useful tools and, you know, just kind of diving in. And really, just with staples, it you know, it goes pretty fast, honestly. If you like this, maybe you'd like to support me on my Patreon. Otherwise, just keep liking and watching. And I'll see you guys on the flippity flip. That's embarrassing. I'll see you guys next week.